Generally, it is legal for licensed electricians to secure permits for electrical projects executed by non-licensed personnel given specific conditions are satisfied. Firstly, the licensed electrician must assume full responsibility for the entirety of the electrical work. This encompasses having complete authority to conduct inspections and implement any necessary modifications. Secondly, the non-licensed electricians must operate under the direct and continuous supervision of the licensed electrician. This ensures that all work adheres to established standards and safety protocols. Thirdly, all work undertaken must be in strict accordance with all relevant codes and regulations. This is paramount to ensure safety, compliance, and the avoidance of potential legal issues. When you secure a permit, you are generally required to provide an estimated job cost in the form. This figure serves as the basis for the building department's calculation of the sales tax due on the project. In the scenario described, where you are obtaining permits for work conducted by non-licensed electricians, the responsibility for sales tax is divided. You won't be liable for the sales tax on the labor component of the project. However, you will be responsible for remitting sales tax on all materials purchased specifically for the project. To mitigate potential problems, it is advisable to follow these recommendations. Firstly, establish a clearly defined written agreement with a construction company, explicitly outlining your responsibilities and authority. This agreement should detail the scope of your involvement, your decision-making power, and the expectations of both parties. Secondly, seek written confirmation from the building department verifying that you are authorized to obtain permits for projects where the electrical work is performed by non-licensed electricians. This confirmation will serve as evidence of your compliance with local regulations and can protect you from future disputes. Thirdly, meticulously maintain accurate records of all materials acquired for the project and ensure that you pay the appropriate sales tax on these materials. This demonstrates your commitment to fulfilling your tax obligations and can help you avoid audits or penalties. The role of a licensed electrician in overseeing non-licensed personnel's work is critical for safety and code adherence. The direct supervision aspect is vital, as it ensures that the non-licensed electricians are constantly guided and corrected by a qualified professional. This minimizes the risk of errors, omissions, or violations of electrical codes, which could lead to hazardous situations or a costly rework. It's important to understand the nuances of sales tax laws in the jurisdiction where the work is being performed. Sales tax regulations can vary significantly from one state or locality to another. Consulting with a tax professional or thoroughly researching the applicable laws is essential to ensure compliance. Detailed record keeping is not just about sales tax, it's a fundamental aspect of sound business practices. Accurate records of materials purchased, labor costs, and other project-related expenses can be invaluable in the event of an audit or any other type of inquiry. Having comprehensive documentation readily available can streamline the process and demonstrate your commitment to transparency. The written agreement with the construction company should address several key issues. Firstly, the scope of work should be clearly defined, specifying the types of electrical work that will be covered by the permits you obtain. Secondly, liability should be addressed, outlining the responsibilities of each party in the event of accidents, injuries, or property damage. Thirdly, payment terms should be explicitly defined, including the percentage of the contract price you will receive and the payment schedule. Fourthly, dispute resolution mechanisms should be established, outlining the steps that will be taken to resolve any disagreements that may arise. Seeking confirmation from the building department is a crucial step in mitigating potential risks. It's important to understand the building department's policies regarding licensed electricians obtaining permits for work performed by non-licensed personnel. Some building departments may have specific requirements or restrictions that you need to be aware of. Obtaining written confirmation ensures that you are in compliance with these policies and protects you from potential penalties. Maintaining accurate records of materials purchased involves several key steps. Firstly, obtain detailed receipts or invoices for all materials acquired for the project. Secondly, record the date of purchase, the vendor's name, and the quantity and cost of each item. Thirdly, allocate each material purchase to a specific project to ensure accurate cost tracking. Fourthly, retain all records for a minimum of 3 to 7 years, as required by tax regulations. Compliance with electrical codes and regulations is paramount in any electrical project. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, is the most widely adopted set of standards for electrical installations in the United States. However, state and local jurisdictions may have their own amendments or additions to the NEC. Familiarizing yourself with the applicable codes and regulations is essential to ensure that all work is performed safely and in compliance with the law. Regular inspections of the electrical work are crucial to ensure that it meets code requirements and safety standards. As the licensed electrician responsible for the project, you have the authority to conduct these inspections. These inspections should be performed at various stages of the project, from the initial wiring to the final connection. Any deficiencies or violations of code should be promptly corrected. Proper documentation of the electrical work is essential for several reasons. Firstly, it provides a record of the work that has been performed, which can be useful for future maintenance or repairs. Secondly, it demonstrates compliance with electrical codes and regulations, which can be important in the event of an inspection or audit. Thirdly, it can protect you from liability in the event of accidents or injuries. Detailed documentation should include wiring diagrams, equipment specifications, and inspection reports. Continuing education is essential for licensed electricians to stay up to date on the latest codes, regulations, and technologies. The electrical industry is constantly evolving, and it's important to stay abreast of these changes to ensure that you are providing the best possible service to your clients. Many states require licensed electricians to complete continuing education courses to maintain their licenses. Professionalism and ethics are essential qualities for any licensed electrician. As a professional, you have a responsibility to provide competent and ethical service to your clients. This includes being honest and transparent in your dealings, respecting client confidentiality, and avoiding conflicts of interest. Building a strong reputation for professionalism and ethics can help you attract and retain clients. Communication skills are also essential for licensed electricians. You need to be able to communicate effectively with clients, contractors, and other stakeholders. This includes being able to explain technical concepts in a clear and concise manner, listening carefully to client concerns, and responding promptly to inquiries. Strong communication skills can help you build trust and rapport with your clients. Business acumen is also important for licensed electricians who own or manage their own businesses. This includes understanding financial management, marketing, and customer service. Developing strong business acumen can help you run a successful and profitable electrical contracting business. Furthermore, it's crucial to understand the role of insurance in protecting your business and your clients. As a licensed electrician, you should carry adequate insurance coverage to protect yourself from liability in the event of accidents, injuries, or property damage. Common types of insurance for electrical contractors include general liability insurance, professional liability insurance, and workers' compensation insurance. Risk management is an essential aspect of any electrical contracting business. This involves identifying potential risks, assessing their likelihood and impact, and developing strategies to mitigate those risks. Common risks for electrical contractors include accidents, injuries, property damage, and legal claims. Implementing effective risk management strategies can help you protect your business and your client. Safety is the paramount consideration in any electrical project. The electrical work can be dangerous, and it's important to take all necessary precautions to protect yourself and others from harm. This includes wearing appropriate personal protective equipment, following safe work practices, and ensuring that all equipment is properly maintained. A culture of safety should be instilled in every aspect of the electrical contracting business. You need to be aware of the potential hazards associated with non-licensed electricians performing electrical work without proper supervision. Firstly, there is an increased risk of electrical shock or electrocution due to improper wiring or grounding. Secondly, there is a greater likelihood of fire due to overloaded circuits or faulty connections. Thirdly, there is a higher chance of property damage due to improper installation of electrical equipment. Fourthly, there is a potential for legal liability in the event of accidents or injuries. By taking these steps and staying informed about the latest regulations and best practices, you can minimize your risk and ensure that you are operating in a safe and compliant manner. The recommendations provided are intended to offer guidance and should not be considered as a substitute for professional legal or financial advice. Always consult with qualified experts to address specific situations and ensure compliance with all applicable laws and regulations. Always adhere to the electrical codes and standards. Also, make sure that insurance is adequate to protect from liabilities. Thirdly, maintain proper documentation for all jobs performed. One should always continue their education to improve skills.